Donald Trump is apparently going to be meeting with Vladimir Putin in Alaska on Friday, and he gave us an idea recently of just how far we think that meeting will go.
President Zelensky has to get all of his everything he needs, because he's going to have to get ready to sign something, and I think he is working hard to get that done.
Will Zelensky have to give up territory, Mr. President?
Well, you're looking at territory that's been fought over for 3.5 years with, a lot of Russians have died, a lot of Ukrainians have died. So we're looking at that, but we're actually looking to get some back and some swapping. It's complicated. It's actually nothing easy. It's very complicated, but we're going to get some back. We're going to get some switched. There'll be some swapping of territories.
Oh, yeah, it's not easy, it turns out. That's weird because I actually was told by someone, I can't remember who, that they could get it done on the day one, and we're hundreds of days into this, and apparently it's still not easy. But don't worry, there's gonna be swapping. We're gonna swap. Wait, so what's the swap? Russia gets some Ukrainian land and Ukraine gets some Russian land? What, they're gonna get Arkhangelsk or something? What exactly, some of the suburbs of Moscow? What swapping is going on? And the reason he's fumbling and bumbling with the swap something is because the current plan, what he is going to present to Zelensky, is giving Putin all of the territory that he currently holds after the illegal and barbaric invasion that, yes, did kill a lot of people. Notice Trump mentioned the Russians who had died first. He obviously has priorities in terms of which ones he cares the most about. They have stolen a bunch of territory, and Donald Trump is going to try to pressure Zelensky to just give it over to Vladimir Putin. And we're going to return to that in just a moment. But first, I want to move away from Trump into one of his favorite lapdogs. That's Lindsey Graham weighing in on this.
Do you believe that Ukraine should sign a deal that includes giving up any part of their territory, Senator?
Well, think about East Berlin and West Berlin as a way a conflict can be settled, at least for a period of time. North Korea and South Korea is in a state of truce. There's never been a final settlement. But I come on your show a good bit. I want to be honest with you. Ukraine's not gonna evict every Russian.
As we talk about these potential land swaps that you're discussing, this was during your visit to Ukraine. You said, quote, "You don't end wars by giving territory to the aggressor. If Putin is not stopped here, he will keep going. And that increases the chances that there will be a war between Russia and NATO." Senator, if Russia is allowed to annex some of those regions, won't that effectively be a green light for Russia to go into and invade other countries?
Okay, so in response to that, let's go into a little bit of what he had to say. He said that we should keep arming Ukraine, which is not explicitly what the question was about. It was about the land swaps that Trump is talking about. Put some European forces on the ground and build up economic integration. That's nice. If Putin were to invade Ukraine again, he would be fighting more than just Ukraine, having some European forces on the ground as tripwires. So that's nothing. So let me just, setting aside Lindsey Graham, here's what Donald Trump would have you believe. So they invade and conquer Crimea, they're allowed to keep it. A couple years go by, they invade Ukraine, and now Trump is saying we're gonna let them keep it. And the idea is that they're not going to try to conquer the rest in a couple of, why? What possible reason would Putin have to not rebuild, rearm, and conquer it in 2 or 3 years? Donald Trump has already shown that he will fold. He'll fumble and bumble through the diplomacy for 6 months or whatever. At the end of it, what do we have? Okay, day one, Putin wanted all the territory. Now day, I don't know, 180, Putin wants all the territory and Trump is saying he can have it. What has Trump done? What has Trump gotten? What is this swap that's, you can't swap me my land. That's all Ukraine. It doesn't matter if it's been illegally taken over for a couple of years or whatever, it's theirs. If Mexico was to invade southern US and hold to Austin until 2029, would it then de facto be theirs? And maybe we can swap a little bit. I want a little bit of Laredo, you can get some of the hill country. Who the hell thinks that's how we would treat American territory? And yet that's what he's apparently going to side with Putin on. It is going to be him and Putin facing Zelensky and telling him, no, you give up your land, you give up your sovereignty, and you enjoy the next couple of years before it's all Russian territory. It's BS, and thankfully, Zelensky has responded in saying that that's not going to happen. He's not going to be giving land to the occupier. Okay, JR, what do you make of this?
That's Donald Trump's problem. He doesn't like that Zelensky will say something like that. He doesn't like that Zelensky will stand up for his country the way that Donald Trump always says, I have nothing against anyone actually standing up for their country. I'm just saying you can't be unfair to us. So that's why he was mumbling and stumbling through that whole first answer, is because he has a problem with finding out what it is that they're actually gonna do, because he hasn't gotten the orders yet from Vladimir Putin. When they ask, how's this gonna work? He goes, it's actually pretty complicated. It's because you have no idea what's gonna come next. And also like, Zelensky needs to get his things together, get things in order before he signs something. What does he have to get together? Why does he have to get things together? What are we talking about? He doesn't know. He's taking orders. And as far as whether or not Vladimir Putin is going to continue down the same road that we all know he would go down, Donald Trump had a moment of frustration before during these negotiations as Putin kept attacking and said, he's crazy. He doesn't listen to anything. Why doesn't he calm down? I'm so disappointed in him. You already pointed out that he's off the rails and you can't control him. So why would we suddenly believe that you can control him now? What changed outside of, Lindsey Graham changing his positions based off of whether or not Donald Trump tells him to? They need to have more of those instances where Lindsey Graham and people like him get cornered with their own rejection of reality just for the sake of Donald Trump. And after they do it, then say, Lindsey, at what point are you going to stop carrying water for Donald Trump? Because it's pretty obvious that you believed one thing before he told you to believe another thing. What usefulness do you have as a senator in this country? As a matter of fact, why haven't people voted you out yet? Just ask him directly, because he's exhibiting exactly what we're seeing. Can we all see some reality in front of us now and stop being polite to fascists?
100%. By the way, like they all think that he's like this strong guy, master diplomat, deal maker, and strong. Who couldn't have gotten this deal? You don't think Harris could just give Putin everything he wants? I think she could have figured out a way to give him everything he wants. Sleepy Joe could have given Putin everything he wants. You could have thrown me and JR in there as the head negotiators. We could figure out a way to give him everything he wants. That's not tough. How is this impressive? Donald Trump on the economy with the tacoing and the weird evasions to try to avoid accountability on Epstein. On all of this, he is just a pathetic little nothing bitch. That's all he is. He's not getting us anything. He's just giving in and giving in and giving in. It's ridiculous. If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog that is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?